doing? Glad to see everybody. We've got a fun-filled mini-series here. Today, this is a six-part mini-series, and today we're going to be talking about restoring residentials. This is kind of near and dear to everybody. So we're gonna go from for the newer players, we're gonna start with breeding and kind of go into some residentials, and then we're gonna talk about the future and walk into Mega World and see kind of my vision of and ideas of where we can work on levels 2 through 6 and basically incorporate all levels of residentials into Mega World, and that's what we're all here to talk about. So let's get this thing rolling. Talked about the six-part mini series. How's that, everybody? Is that better now? Did we get that going? I think we're good now. I think we're good, everybody. Hey, sorry about that. So back to getting through the nuts and bolts. I don't think we missed too much. Just wanted to say, hey, not financial advice being given. Not part of the MCP dev team. These are just my ideas, and hopefully the developers look at this and maybe incorporate some of these ideas into the future. So, without further ado, hey, Max, I'm glad you're in here. First thing I kind of wanted to show off was I think we'll skip right over here. So this is kind of some simple stuff. I think everybody already knows this, but probably good for some of the newer folks. So we've got inside of MCP we have three different residentials. We've got the modern house, the villa, the condominium. I think they've changed the names recently. It's interesting. Each one of these buildings incorporates or boosts different stats. So if you'll notice, the villa, I think they're calling it, what are we calling the villa right now? I think we've changed the name of it. But it boosts intelligence and agility, so this guy right here. Then we move over to the modern house, and it, boosts charisma and endurance. And then the condominium, luck and strength. So with the three different types of buildings, I think right now, it's a good start. They all look pretty neat, especially once you get up to level 7s. Jumping over to this slide over here, I think Max, you helped me out with this. This is an interesting. I get a lot of questions in Discord about this. Hey, I've got a level 1. Do I want to breed in level 1? Do I want to breed in level 7? And to me, right now, the game is really set for level 1 and level 7, and these graphs really depict why. Hey, thank you again, Max, for putting these together. So I like this guy right here. This shows the yield of total citizens that you're going to get from your parents. So it's showing that level 1, you're going to get the most amount of yield from your parents. And then as you go to a level 2, again, level 1 requires 2 citizens. Level 2 requires 4 citizens. Level 3 requires 6 citizens, and so on. But you only get one offspring from that. So as you can go down, you can see that we're going to get, once we get to level 5, which is one of the least efficient buildings, it takes 10 people to build one offspring. And then you jump up to level 6, you're going to get 2 offspring, and level 7, you're going to get 4 offspring. So really, level 7 and level 1 become the most economical, and that's why levels 2 through 6 have somewhat been forgotten. And we're also going to show kind of what you can expect from a level 1 and what you can expect from a level 7. So shifting gears, I'm going to thank Vitaly for this. He's not on here, but I grabbed this off of Twitter, and then I have one of my own examples as well. I don't have the exact building, but he did tell me that it was a 600 IP building with a 10% boost. And you can see here that he also has a pet boost. So if you are going to end up breeding level 1, again, you're going back to the graph, you are going to get the most bang for your buck, or the most citizens for your buck. However, each offspring is going to be a little less efficient than the parents. It's looking like you're going to lose 2 to 3 traits per breeding, and this is a great example from Vitaly. So what I would recommend if you are going to start breeding, you need to have complementary stats, meaning intelligence and charisma. Those are complementary stats. Those are good for a business center. If we go back to this slide over here, I can kind of explain that. So again, MCP kind of has this is all pulled from the guide. MCP kind of has this a little bit backwards, but it works. So you have to kind of read through it and decode this thing. I've got it memorized. So again, intelligence is primary for office, and the secondary is charisma for office, right, or the business centers. So these I would consider complementary stats. A very good majority, I don't know, somebody might have the stats, but about 40% comes from the primary stat, about 30% from the secondary stat, and the remainder from the remainder stats. So it's very important to have your primary and secondary, not just focus on one stat, but focus on 2 stats. So going back to it, again, this is Vitaly's building. He did a great job of boosting primary stats. And if you're going to breed in a level 1, very important to have 2 complementary stats all the way up to 10. And I'm going to show you what happens when you don't. So right here we have intelligence up to a 10, charisma up to a 10, same thing on the male breed. And if we look over to the right, we can see 3 offspring that have resulted in that. So if you look at that, we're going to have an average of 10 for both stats, and we lost 3 on the first one, we lost 2 on the second one, and lost 1 on the third one. These are, I believe, at random. It's a little bit randomized, but it goes off of the parents. Again, let's look at charisma. Again, an average of 10. We got an 886. So one of those we lost 4. Again, we lost 2 over here. And this is again with a 600 IP building with a 10% booster. So let's jump to the next level. This is a level 1 breeding set. This is actually in one of my residentials in District 134. Alex was the one breeding here. He was renting this one from me. Not the greatest IP in the world. We've got a total of 330. So this is about half the IP that Vitaly had in his previous iteration. Here we can see strength is going to be averaged out at 9. Hello, Matu. Hello. So strength is averaged out at 9. So on the first set, we lost 2. The second set, we lost 3, 3, and 3. But still overall good. This is a little different setup. So Vitaly was breeding for office buildings. Alex was breeding for industrials. So you can see he's in a condominium. If I go back to this page right here, so again, the condominium, condominium best for luck and strength. Okay, so that's where it's going to be boosted, luck and strength. And again, for the industrial, we're going to see the primary trait is primary for industrial, and then endurance, the second one, is the secondary stat. Same general rules apply. I'm sure there's a math wizard out there that's going to challenge me on the 40-30 rule. It might be 45-35, but the important thing to remember is you have to remember both stats. Don't just focus on one, but focus on complementary stats. So let's go back to our breeding pair that Alex did here in this building. Again, 330 IP. We're looking at the strength and endurance. So I coached him to focus on both of those stats. So you can notice that he had strength at a 10, endurance at an 8. So these are very strong breeding pairs. The one thing he didn't do was put pets into the mix. So we'll be able to see what a lower level 1 will do without pets. Jumping over to the right, again, average of 18. We lost 3, 4, 4, 4 on strength. Jumping over to the endurance, again, an average of 9. Let's see, we lost 5 points right here. 4 points, 4 points, and 4 points. So a little bit different breeding, a little different. I think this is a little more realistic. That unicorn that Vitali has over there, 600 IP with a 10% influence boost because of the landmark. Those are very, very rare in the game. And hey, congrats to Vitali. But as you can see, you're still able to breed, some pretty strong. I would say these guys are pretty strong for industrial. For a good mid-grade citizen, strength and endurance at a 12 or a 13 all day long. Half my citizens aren't even that good. So I think this goes to show that breeding in a level 1 residential, and not the highest IP, but a average IP in the building, maybe. Yeah, right there in the middle. I like to say 400 is about average, but still very viable at 330. So, the next thing that we're going to jump to is the level 7. So we go back to Max's graph over here, and we look, level 1, you're going to get the most breeds per pair, right? So the most amount of citizens, but they're going to be a lower quality citizen. As you jump to the level 2, level 3, again, you're going to get a little bit higher quality citizen, but it's going to take all the way to level 5. Again, it's going to take 10 citizens losing a breeding point in order to get that new citizen, right? So that's why I really stray against. I've done it a few times in level 5 just to see what it would do, and it didn't provide that much better of a citizen from the level 1. To warrant or justify spending 1 breeding point from 10 different citizens. So I learned a lot from Chris and some of the other breeders out there that that level 7 breed, you get about a 20% boost when you're breeding level 7. So let's take a look at level 7. And actually, interesting enough, I have a level 7 today that I'm going to breed, so I'll be able to show you the breeding stock from this exact building right here. So we're looking at it, 136,000 IP. I'd say a pretty high IP. I like anything over 100K. 120 is better. 150, I believe, is the max. So we're fairly close to the max. This is a great example where I had a set of B managers. There's too many of them to put in here, but I had a set of B all managers with pets level 2 and level 3 for all 20. All 20 citizens had pets. This is what I generated out of there. So again, these are straight managers, 4s and 5s, the occasional 6 in attributes, and this is what I got. So if we're going to look at these sets here, we have, I would call this guy, he would be great for an industrial, strength and endurance at a 13. Next door, we got another 13. I would call him strength and endurance, 8 plus 5. This guy right here, I might look at him again at an industrial. Here we're probably going to go, let's see, he's an intelligence and charisma 13, while his strength and endurance is a 12. So I would put this guy in a office type setting. He's just better suited and more efficient there. Jumping over, so what I did was I breeded from B45 down to C28. So the Bs obviously generated the C generation citizen. And then I took the best, so what do we have there? We had about 40, let's see, 45. We had a good 40 citizens that we bred to level C. And out of those level Cs, I took the best citizens, the best 20, and 10 males, 10 females, and put them in again with the same pets. So now we're looking at, as you can see, we're looking at top managers. So these are all top managers without, and the occasional professional without pets. So these guys are obviously going to generate a stronger follow-on generation. So very, very, very important to start with a very good set of A's, and then each generation in a level 7, after it's boosted that extra 20%, and these are rough numbers, but you're going to get a boost from the parents. So you can see down here, we're already running 10s right here. That's the boost due to the condominium. So we're going to get a little bit of a luck boost, and we're going to get a strength boost from that building. Plus, it's a level 7, so we're going to get a boost there, and then the pets. So let's eyeball these guys right here, so you can see the generation between the C and D. This guy, we're looking at a 16 instead of a 13. Here we're looking at a 15, or actually we got a 17 here. So strength plus agility. This is good for a production building. So this would be a production building type person. Over here we have my highest pair would probably be, I got a 15 for strength and endurance. So again, industrial. And jumping over here, I've got a 16 for industrial, and that looks like the best one as well. So these are all great for industrials, and that's kind of the level 7. So let's jump over to actually live in MCP, and let's look at the citizens that are about to breed. I'm going to claim one right now, and that should be kind of fun to watch. I don't know if we've ever shown a level 7 breed on Twitch yet, so this will be the first one. Let's see if we can transition over there. Hey, there we are. So we're over here in District 134. This is the residential that I showed you, the level 7 residential that I just recently showed you. Of course, I'm right on top of that, so let's move things around a little bit here. I didn't plan for that very well. We'll move my pretty face over here. Okay, everybody see? Okay, so here we are. Same level 7 residential 2015 that we saw previously. Let's take a look at these citizens. Okay, so here we go. So you can see here, these guys without pets wouldn't be the most amazing guys in the world, but they're going to be top managers. As soon as you put the pet boost in there, they become executives and top executives. So right here, let's just kind of scroll through these guys. So we've got an executive because of the pet boost. I won this little chameleon from the giveaway. I was kind of happy with that guy. He helps out a lot. Jumping down again, these are executive breeds because of the pets. Otherwise, they would just be top managers. Moving on. So we can kind of get the flavor of, these are not the greatest guys in the world. And we saw what their offspring was, and we'll see what the offspring is live here in a few minutes. But I just kind of want to scroll through these guys. Again, nobody's past an 8. These are again the best C generation from my B levels. Yeah, absolutely, Sebaseek. We're gonna see a live claim, so this will be fun. Just still scrolling through, and again, this is going to be 20 citizens for a 20 citizen breeding pair for 4 new offspring. Still scrolling through here, nice and slow for everybody to take a look. But I mean, this guy right here, he'd be a professional without a pet. But there's nothing absolutely, astonishing here. And we're just scrolling through the last few of these guys. Got some 8s in there, some 9s. And I'd also argue none of these are really a great breeding pair. I wouldn't breed any of these guys in a level 1 because without a 210 trait like Vitali had, or at least 110, because you can only put one pet per citizen, right? So you need at least 110, and then a second 10 can be, you can have that with the pet, right? But they need to be complementary stats. That's what I think a lot of folks are missing in the breeding world. We're even gonna, you know what? We'll even show right after this. We will show. Kind of what breeding is on the market and kind of its profitability. Iron Man, funny guy. I just got a text from him over here, or a message from him. No, absolutely no. We're just going to talk about the citizens here, so all is well. Continuing on. All right, so we see last few guys here. Heck, let's collect. What do we say? Let's do this. I believe this is the first time live on here. Let's see. We'll see if we got any Discord chat here. I think I saw something. All right, good. All right, here we go. Everybody can see. All right, we're going to push the claim button. So here's kind of an example of the fees in District 134. We don't have the highest taxes. They're not the lowest in the world, but a very fair tax. So let's look at this. 0.049 is what it's going to cost me to collect. This is going to be 4 citizens. So I don't know. Max, if you're on, can you run a quick math for me? 0.049 divided by 4, so we can get the price per 1 citizen. Or Seek, if you can, that'd be great. Post that into chat. Really want to see what 1 citizen costs, and we can look at what a comparable on the market fee would be, and we can even look at profitability here. So Seek just said 0.012. So 1 citizen is going to cost me 0.012. All right, so let's go ahead and collect. Again, this is going to be on the MetaMask, or I'm sorry, not the MetaMask, on the Matic chain. So we're not going to experience any gas. Here we go. Boom, sign. So all it's going to take is out of my in-game balance for the newer players. So we're going to wait a few minutes and watch this transaction go, and I'll actually show these citizens. I'm going to show. Oh, there we go. Seek. That converts right now based on a $4,000 US dollar ETH. That converts to about $50 is what it takes to breed 1 citizen. So breeding 4 citizens, arguably $200. That's what this transaction is, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to wait a few minutes for him to collect. In the meantime, let's run over to, we can easily go over to the for sale market. I believe this is the only place you can buy citizens in game. I don't think I haven't been able to ever buy them on OpenSea. Maybe somebody has. Yes, Seek, $200 for the whole pack. So let's take a look at citizens, what they're going on the market for, and let's compare them to some of the offspring that I made earlier. My big head's in the way again. Let's move me. All right, we're moving over here to the lower right, guys. There we go. There. Now I think you guys can see a little better. So all right, let's look at the market right now. Citizens have actually gone up in price just a little bit. Today's December 16th, 2021. I know a few people looked at some old breeding strategies, some old YouTube videos, had a little bit of challenges. I hope this helps. But don't worry for the vets. We will get into the future. What I want to do is really take this video from where we're at currently the level 1 and level 7 breeding strategies, and I want to talk about where we're going to go from here. So we're getting there. Just we're taking the long road. So let's go low to high. Let's sort, and let's look at what a pair of citizens cost on the market. So right now, the lowest on the market is 0.014. All right. So this Cosmic Lover, wow. Cosmic Lover is the lowest price citizen in the game and is already more expensive than my level 7 Generation D citizen. Even more expensive than my Let's go back to my level 7. Let's go big PowerPoint, little me. There we are, big PowerPoint, little me. So let's go back and we'll take a look at this, and I'll kind of flip back and forth. So let's notice the Generation C. My stats. Let's add these up real quick. 7, 14. That's too little for me to read. 7, 14, 19, 23, 30, 36. So arguably this guy, Francisco, is a 36 total stat. We're not necessarily looking at comparable stats, but we're looking at just total stats right now. So he's a 36. That's how I talk to him. Let's jump over to Rose Herzog. Wow. Rose Herzog. So this is, again, a level C to a level D. So Generation D, we've got a 20, 28, 33, I think that's a 6, 39, and a 45. So we went the first generation, what did I say, 33 to a 45. I think I'm not mistaken. That should be 33 for a Generation C and 45 for a Generation D. So you can see a what is 33 by 45? Sebaseek, you're the man with the calculator. Let's see what kind of percentage gain we got from a C generation to a D generation with that same set of folks. So 33 divided by 45, and that should give us the stats there. We'll wait for Sebaseek over here on the right. But anyway, just remember those numbers real quick, and let's flip back to this screen. So again, Cosmic Lover, I like that name. So for more expensive, by 0.002, we are getting a 4, 8, 10. We're getting a 15 total stat versus somebody that's double, right? So this kind of shows that there is definite savings, or you're going to get a better pair by breeding in a level 7. Heck, you're even going to get a better pair than breeding in a level 1. Let's go back to that level 1. Let's go back to Vitaly's level 1. Let's see. Again, Vitaly's level 1. It's going to take a second to pop up. So right here, again, this is complementary stats. That's very, very important in a level 1. And look at what he's getting here. He's getting an 8, 16, 21, 26. So he's getting a 26 versus... heck, I already forgot the number here. But long story short, a level 1 citizen costs about 0.014, 0.015. So all of these guys are more... It's cheaper to breed in a level 1, and you're going to get a better citizen. That's the point of what I'm trying to make. So let's go back to... Let's find a comparable citizen to the level 7 breeds, just so everybody can see them. Let's take one quick glance again. We've got some 7s and 8s, and we got a pair of 10s in these guys. So we'll look for guys with stats that say 7 and 8, and these guys that say stats in level 10s, all right? So we'll kind of jump through the market and see where that goes. So just kind of keep that in the back of your head. So right now we're at 0.0145. Let's jump over to page 4. Let's see what happens. Let's see what type of people we have here. So still... arguably, I am not seeing any 7s here, and we're all the way up to 0.22. We're getting some 6s. Oh, here we go. Here's an 8, Guinevere. But look at the total stats here again, guys. We're nowhere in the 30s, nowhere close. So I wouldn't call that a comp. Robert's getting a little closer. Still quite not there. Maybe Calvin. I'm still going to value those guys just a little bit higher. He only has, one stat, but complimentary, intelligence, charisma, he's sitting at a 12. That's a good stat. I didn't mean to push that. Let's go back. Let's jump it up. I still think the Generation C that I was showing you guys earlier was just a little bit better. So I wouldn't quite call that a comp. Let's jump over to the next page. Oh, hello, Baba. I just saw you there. Just imagine how valuable citizens could be when avatars and scholarships roll out. No, absolutely. I am very excited about that. That's really going to be, I'm going to start talking about that here in about 5-10 minutes. 5 minutes, if you guys can bear with me on this quick, long tour. I'm really excited to talk about exactly that. All right. Here we go, 0.22. Let's jump over to page 6. Still seeing no real comps. Let's keep going down the line. Still nothing. We're at 0.25. Let's keep going. Point is, I can breed that citizen. Sebaseek, what did you say? 0.012. You could arguably sell these citizens for points. I'm going to value these guys over 0.03. I really will. Somebody might challenge me on that, but I'm looking at all the comps here. Yeah, we do have 12s. We've got a D28 with a 9.3. Good for an industrial. That's a 12. But still, I'm not comping any of the guys I've had. And we're already at 0.03. Let's keep going. So, we're talking about profitability strategies in the current game. Level 7 breeding will do it. Level 1, I've also showed you, will do it. Here we go. Here we're starting to see some folks. 0.03 for Frank Bartel. Still really nothing. This guy's not too bad. He's a 13 for production. I think those Gen C's that I was showing you are in that 0.028 to 0.03. That's what I'm going to value those guys at. But we have yet to see a double 10 stat. If you guys can bear with me a few more minutes, we're just going to kind of keep scrolling. I still have not seen a double 10. Oh, here we go. I wonder who these guys are. So here we go. Let's see who's selling these guys. These are great citizens if anybody wants to pick some up at a cheap price. I believe these guys are completely undervalued. That is a very, very quick jump. Up here we go. 0.0319. These guys I would compare to the Gen Ds. Those are also a good buy. I think they're undervalued. Let's see who the heck's selling these. I think I've got a good idea. Tricks is selling these. Anybody wants some high quality citizens? I know he's had a few struggles, so he's looking to offload some folks. I think they're very undervalued in the market right now. I don't want to jump through all these pages. Long story short, breeding is valuable in a level 7. And oh shoot, look at that! I got a little drink here, a little drink break. Yeah, those are some great citizens, Sebaseek. So I would definitely eyeball those if anybody's looking at some. I believe those are undervalued. I don't think they're going to last long on the market. Tricks, I'm shilling for you right now. If we can get those sold for you right here on Twitch, hey, that'd be great. So all of this is great. I owe you guys a view of the citizens that we just bred. So let's take a peek. Let's see, citizens. Let's take a peek at the latest and greatest citizens page. Oh, there's one. So this is a fresh one. I've never seen her before. She's an executive. We've got, this is great for an office. Got a 17. We got a 14 strength and endurance. That'd be great for industrial. We've got a 13 if we looked at that from a endurance agility for dang it, Baba, now you got me all messed up. Power and your utilities, there you go, that's what I'm looking for. So let's look at page 18 over here. So these are the other three that were just bred. Here we go. Let's see what we got. I'm so excited to see. All right, so strength and luck. Those are not ironically, but those were the two stats that were boosted in that condominium, that level 7 condominium. So here, not as great. We got a 13 complimentary. This one is a 15, so I'd probably put him in an industrial, strength and endurance. Over here, same thing. We got a 16, so great for strength and endurance for that industrial. And over here, I've got a intelligence charisma. I've got a 16. I would use that for an office. I'd use that person for an office. So, again, I would value these people. Tricks kind of lowered the market there a little bit. We had a big jump. I'd probably value these guys each at about 0.04, about 0.04, maybe a little bit shy of 0.04 for these Generation Ds. In a true market that's looking around. So again, for total cost of 0.05, I'm able to generate 4 citizens. Let's be on the shy side. 0.035. I'm able to generate 4 citizens valued at 0.035. So let's look at that. That's 0.14. That arguably is a 0.09 profit if you're able to sell them all. And again, everything is only worth what people are willing to pay for it. So you can think your thing is valuable at 0.04 and you can place it on the market and have it sit there forever, but things are only worth what people are willing to pay for them. So let's jump over to the next portion of what I wanted to talk about, which is the future of MCP, or my vision of the future. This is not current gameplay, but this is my vision of where residentials are going to go, or I would like them to go. All right. So to help me out, we're going to jump over to World, and we're right here in District 43. Let's see if I can navigate this thing very well. Still kind of learning the controls here. It's a little choppy. Probably need a graphics card or something, but let's see. All right, I know where we're at. So we're in District 43. What we're going to do is, let's see what Baba says. He says, or use them yourself and drastically cut down on your overhead. No, absolutely, Baba. So that's a very good point, and that's my current strategy, is to use them to reduce overhead. Clearly, it's going to cost me, I valued them at 0.035, and I can make them for 0.01. So I'm saving 0.02 per citizen, and that's I don't know, at least a 60% savings on citizens breeding them yourself versus buying them on the market. Or the inverse of that is selling them on the market. And the barrier to entry for a level 7 is rather. Let's talk about that real quick before I jump into it. Let's look at residential and residential breeding while we're here. Why not? Let's just look at the in-game market. Let's look land plots. Okay, let's look at a level 7, and let's look at that barrier to entry. Let's talk about that before we get into things. So let's go low to high. This will be fun to look at in about a year. See if these prices change. We'll look at this video a year later and be like, oh my gosh, that was so outdated. Look at those prices. I wish I could have bought an industrial or a residential for 2.75. Right now, I would say that buying a residential on the market versus building is much more economical. I don't think you could build a level 7 for 2.75. Again, these are very good deals. It looks like they've actually gone up in price. There was residentials for 2.25. Now we're sitting at 2.75. I believe these buildings are highly undervalued in the game. The developers have already told us that it will cost us double the resources to build these buildings. So this will be a big resource sink in Mega World. So, come April, come May, we're hoping to see some of that, and I would say these are actually very good deals. So all right, 2.75 ETH, level 7 building. Then we've got to get a set of 20 citizens to start our breeding cycle, right? So we need 10 females, 10 males. I showed you Gen A's. That's probably going to cost you about 1 ETH, maybe 1.5 ETH, somewhere in there, depending on how you do. Probably starting out with a B set will be a little bit cheaper. Again, we just walked through citizens. I would say that 0.025 to 0.03 per citizen is a good number. So I'm just doing a little math. I got the calculator out, so Sebaseek, you can take a break. Yeah, Sebaseek, you're talking the Tron, and I'm sorry, I haven't gotten too far into the Tron world, so I talk in terms of ETH, but I know the worlds are a little bit different in the breeding world, but hey, we're gonna talk ETH because I'm running the show right now, which is fun. So 0.6 for some Gen Bs, right? Let's add that to, I like this building, this residential right here, 2.75, okay. And then I'm also going to want some 2 and 3 pets, that 2 and 3 booster pets. So let's take a look at the market and see what those look like. So let's go low to high, like we always do. So I'm not a big fan of the level, the plus ones until you get further on into breeding, like your Gen Ds and Es, because again, you only get one chance to put a pet there and one chance for a boost. So I'm more of a fan of the 2s and definitely a fan of the 3s. That's actually a really good price. 0.04 for a 3 pet. Somebody snatch that up. Let's see who's buying. Let's see who's selling that. Don't know. That's a really good price. Heck, I might buy that guy. Going back. All right, 0.03 for a plus, 0.04 for a plus 4. We're only going to get one of those. I don't think you're going to get another chance. Here's 0.06, 0.06. We need 20 pets, remember, guys. So we're trying to find a happy middle ground. Here we go, 0.07s. These look more realistic. 0.08s. It's going to be tough to get. I'm going to say 0.08. Let's just put that as a middle times 20. 08 times 20, 1.6, plus our residential, which was, what was our residential? Anybody give me a hand? So we're at 1.6 for the pets, plus 0.6 for the citizens. I get no help from the crew. Thanks, guys. I'll look it up. It's okay. It's okay. Low to high. So I'm at 2.2 pets and citizens. Building is 2.75. All right. So a very long-winded discussion. The barrier to entry for generating 20 or having your fully staffed level 7 office building right now is about 4.95. Let's call it 5 ETH. So 5 ETH is your barrier to entry, and each generation that you're going to breed, you could arguably make 0.09. Let's call it 0.1. Round it. It's going to take you how many generations, right, to get your money back, right, and or save you that money like Baba talked about, right? So that's kind of the barrier to entry on a level 7, and heck, why don't we do it for level 1 real quick? Let's do level 1. Let's eyeball that. You might be able to get a cheaper plot on OpenSea. Right here, 0.1 is about the cheapest. You got a 405, pretty good. I'd have to look at the taxes in 125. I'm not familiar with that district. We got a 205. I wouldn't recommend this guy. Sorry if that's your building. There are ways to boost that. That's out of the scope of this project, but that's pretty low for a residential 265. So I like this guy right here. Barrier entry, so point one, you're going to need 2 citizens. Again, we're going to need a 10 and a, something that's boostable in a complementary stat. For a level 2, I think you're going to need more expensive, or a level 1 breed, you're going to need more expensive pets. You're going to need those +5s or those +4s. I think barrier to entry here, point 1 for the building. Let's call it 0.08 for the citizens. That's 0.26. And for the pets, I'm going to go 0.3 for 2 pets. 0.56 to 0.6 is your barrier to entry to breed citizens like Mr. Vitali did right here. So this is a great strategy right here. So for 0.6, you're going to be generating people like this right here. All right. Without further ado, let's get back to Mega World. I stray a lot. I'm sorry, guys. Here we go. So here we are. Let's get in here. Got my little guy. I can't wait till these avatars. Some of the I'm gonna get more into the citizens in a different stream, but let's take a look at restoring residentials. Don't worry, I'm learning how to run. All right, here we go. So about 3 blocks away from here is a level 7 residential. Let's see if I can kind of take a peek. I see a level 7 commercial there. I haven't seen the residential. I think it's about 2 blocks down. So I'm just kind of running through level 3. But this right here arguably is how the citizens are going to come up. So I just came out of the main tower. Everybody's kind of spawning in the main tower. They have told us... Oh, I'm not even showing you guys this. Wow, look, I'm a terrible host. Big MCP, little me. That's what I need. Oh, there we are. There we go. That's better. Okay. I need one of those Stream XL things that you got there, Baba. Okay. So now we're running down District 43. Now we're running. Okay. And we're running down District 43, and this is arguably how the people are going to be spawning in world, right? So your free-to-play players are going to get their avatar, they're going to get their little spot in world, and they're going to get to do exactly what I'm doing. In my eyes, I believe that as I'm running right here, there's going to be a little stamina bar somewhere, and we're going to be expending stamina. I mean, this guy's running hard. He's breaking a sweat. So I think that each transaction is going to require a citizen to... every collection, everything is going to require citizens to expend the stamina. We're going to restore that stamina somewhere else. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's the residential I'm looking for. We're running straight for that level 7 residential. But the further you get away from the tower, the more running you're doing, the more stamina you're going to expend, meaning the less missions, I don't like that word, but the less collections you're going to be able to do. So let's just take a pause here in a second, and we're going to look around. So to me, I'm going to see, I'm a citizen running down, and I'm going to see a little bubble basically on top of this office building. That's a bad example. If that was an industrial, on top of each of these buildings, I'll see a little bubble, right? And on that bubble, I will know that that building is ready for collections. Me as a citizen, I would walk into that building and perform that collection. That's what I see. But that's very difficult for, let's look at District 134 and how far off the map he is. I mean, by the time I ran there, I think this darn UI would probably time out. I don't even know if I could physically run that far. But the point is, my citizen is going to run out of stamina. So how does MCP incorporate the rest of the map? We've already talked about transportation will be another part of the series, and we'll talk more about it. but quickly you'll jump into a subway and subway traffic over there, or subway yourself over there. Let's look inside this residential, this level 7. I've talked extensively about breeding, and let's look at this. And I think you'll know where I'm going here in a few minutes, but let's enter the building first. And this is where the nuts and bolts are going to come. How do I get in here? Anybody know? Got to push E for enter. Well, let me go in. Anybody? Here we are. All right. So we are inside of the residential. We're just walking around. This is great. What I'm getting at for MCP, if they're watching, why do we have a receptionist in here? What's she doing? Okay, maybe she's the first level concierge or whatever. What is this furniture? What is it doing there? Why do I want this furniture? Why did I pay money to put that furniture in the building? A level 7 to me is a high rise. It's going to have multiple levels. If we go back to MCP, right now this is what I call parked citizens. All of the citizens currently inside of MCP, inside of every building, are parked. We see them right here, all 20 of them. They park, they hang out, they breed, right? In MCP world, I don't see citizens as being parked. This goes back to what Baba was talking about, and I see each one of these citizens, all 20 of these citizens, actually running around. Maybe not in a residential building, but I do not see, here's a level 6 industrial. I do not see all 14 of these people just sitting inside of the building doing nothing. I see each one of these citizens being controlled by a specific person, right? So this guy right here, who's he? Jermaine Hames. So Jermaine Hames is going to be controlled by a human walking through the metaverse, and that's where the scholarships come in. And we are no longer going to push, collect on a building. Let's collect from an industrial real quick. Let's see right here. Let's collect from this guy. Right there next door. So this is currently how collections go. Whoops, wrong building. This one. Currently how collections are going right here. We're going to collect 181 sand. These 4 guys have sat here for, we've got a level 2 sand. So they've been sitting here for 6 days doing nothing. I don't think that's how Mega World is going to be. I think these 4 citizens are going to be controlled by somebody. There will be a small bubble that comes over your building, and a citizen will come in via subway, and they'll be in search of these bubbles, right? They'll be in search of these bubbles to know to collect. So they'll run up to your building and push collect. So right now, we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. Just push collect, and boom. So I also am arguing that we should have fees for transportation. So, subways are going to cost money to ride. I don't know what currency, whether it be World, Mega, or Ethereum, but I think they should cost a little bit, a pittance. So probably pay in World, because that's what I think people are going to be collecting, and I think that's going to be the economy of the future. At least the free-to-play economy. So I think that traveling in World will require World coins, and so that kind of takes away. So if I'm a free-to-play player and I'm just coming out of the main tower, I think that, you're going to go to the path of least resistance. That's natural for humans, right? So we're going to pick buildings that I don't have to take that subway and pay in World, because you have no World to begin with. This is supposed to be a free-to-play game, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to walk out of the towers of 43. I'm going to find the first industrial I can. I'm going to run to it. I'm going to expend my energy. I'm going to click collect on that industrial, and it's going to have a little bubble on top of it, so I'll know which ones are available, and I'm going to collect on it. And then I'm going to earn, let's say 2 or 3 world, maybe 5 world. I don't know what the economy says. And now I have worlds. So I have not paid anything to get into the game. I am a scholar of somebody else. I don't like that term either, by the way. So I hope people come up with some better terms. But I have earned world for free. That world is so I can take that money, and now I can travel to further off districts. I can travel to the wonderful 134 and go collect in this level 2 sand office like I told you. But what is the catalyst for me wanting to do that? Why wouldn't I just pick the closest buildings? Well, a couple reasons. So I picture tens of thousands of new players coming into the game, and I picture all of the buildings around 43 being fully collected, like right away, right? So they're like, oh shoot, where else can I go collect? So then you're obviously going to go to the next closest district. To save money in world, hey, maybe you build up to a car, right? So now you can take a car and you could drive that car to these further off districts. Or this is where the advertising piece comes in. So inside of the main tower, maybe we'll see an advertisement that says, hey, come to 134. Instead of earning those 5 world tokens, maybe we're earning 15 world tokens in 134. That will entice people and make it worth it to spend that money on on the subway. So, you spend your 1-2 world on the subway, you're going over to 134 to earn a higher wage, and we're off to the races, right? But again, here we are spawning all the time in District 43, the main tower. So this is where the restoring the residentials comes in, and kind of the long story. And I've taken you on a grand tour, almost an hour here, just to get to this point right here. I don't know if breeding necessarily in levels 2 through 6 is going to be viable. Maybe in level 6, but 2 through 5, I don't know if that's ever going to be viable. But where I see residentials, I see them truly as a residential. So a dual purpose building, right? So it won't just be a breeding place, but it'll also be a spawning place. So if I'm taking the subway every single day to District 134, I'm spending my 5 world coins or 2 world, I keep changing the price of this subway. I guess it depends on how many people are riding the subway, right? So my hard-earned world coins that I've collected in District 43, and I'm spending them on the subway to get away. What if I found a home inside of 134? What if I found a place to hang out, to hang my hat, so that I didn't have to ride the subway every day, and I lived closer to work, right? So we could easily go to, let's say I wanted to keep collecting from this sector, just as I showed you. A lot of industrial over here in the corner. Great place to build industrial, by the way, anybody. Lots of utilities. Baba, I think that one's yours right there. Somebody's building a mega electric plant here. Long story short, great place. Lots of industrial. It's going to be built in this area. We've got some production, other great things to collect in. So arguably, going right back to that level 7 we were looking at, this would be a great place to hang your hat, and look how far you have to walk. Pretty easy little walk right there, a little jog in the park, and you've got all this industrial around you. So instead of expending all of that stamina, what if your spot was right here? And I mean, that's as simple as it is. I told you, Baba, it was really simple. That's basically the gist of it. What if you were able to spawn inside of your level 7 residential, and that residential gets you closer to where you need to be? And so a level 7 is great because it's multi-story, right? So you could actually rent out an apartment or a floor or a block. So I think MCP was talking about renting out blocks. So they were saying each building, each level is going to be a different level of blocks. So maybe the first floor is that entry with the entry lady, and I don't know, maybe you get your keys from her or something like that. I don't quite understand what that's all about, but You walk in, and I own this level 7, and I could have my 20 people in there breeding. Um, I would still argue that if you're breeding, the people need to be parked or something. But if you're renting out your residential, then I think that's a good starting point or a spawn point on the map. Let's see what the chat's saying. Uh, what a beauty, Baba. Yes, I agree. Come build industrial near me, everyone. Yeah, I like that. Yes, build industrial near that power plant. So it behooves you to build a level 2, a level 3, a level 4 because you're going to have more blocks and more places to rent out to, tens of thousands of players that are going to be in here. So let's imagine, I mean, how many residentials do we have in the game right now that are not being used? Well, now each block or each floor is going to be rented out as spawn points for these people to recharge. So I think recharging is going to be different. I think that we're not going to have these teleportation, these quick restores of people. Let's look at how we currently restore people, right? So I click on my building. I'll just go ahead and do one for you. He looks like he needs a little help. So right here, let's restore this guy. I already messed it up. Push. Let's look at how we restore. And I think this comes right back into the residential. So, oh, my big head's in the way again. Let's move me. Here I am. All right. So everything, even building buildings, is that's a good plug for one of my other mini series, building buildings. Great catchy title. So let's restore this guy right here. So I just check the box. Boom. I push rest. We're going to use a wonderful level 5 right here, this guy. Recommend, it's a great trade center. I'd recommend using it. We're going to restore. If this thing wants to play with me here. It's taking a couple seconds. There it goes. All right. So this is what I'd call almost an airdrop restore, right? I don't think that's how we need to be restoring people. I don't think it's how we need to be building buildings. I don't think poof, magically the materials just arrive at your building. I think you actually need to go home and rest, right? But in order to rest, you need food. You need, things that you would buy from a supermarket. So you need a place to store these things. You need a refrigerator to put them in. This builds a use case for appliances. You need something to cook on, right? I think these free-to-play players need stuff to do. And we need uses for all of these things that'll be created in the metaverse. I think this offers the opportunity for kind of combining the previous chapter that I was talking about. This is an opportunity for in real life companies to create metaverse food, right? What if Kraft Macaroni and Cheese had a macaroni and cheese box that you bought at a supermarket? This is now advertising in game, right? And you walk your citizen to the supermarket. So ideally, we would want a supermarket close to your residential because we're going to expend stamina running to the supermarket to grab the food to bring back to our residential. How inefficient would it be if your residential was all the way in the main tower in District 43 and all of your work was in District 134 and you had to keep running back and forth to restore your stamina? So I would ideally want a residential near where I'm going to be working so I don't expend all of that stamina. So that's kind of the purpose of levels, all the levels of residentials, and the builder of those residentials, again, multiple stories. I would prefer a level 3 residential because I have 3 stories that I can rent out to people. What do you guys think of that? Do you think this is kind of took us on a long journey here to get here, but what do we think about, kind of the idea of making these residentials your home and close to work, and kind of trying to tie the whole idea together and the concept of the stamina burn to create a need for these residentials outside of the area, right? Create a need for the appliances that we're going to be building, which again is a resource sink. I don't want just a refrigerator to look cool in my building. I don't want to see that chair. I want to know why I want to build that chair. I want to know why I want to sit in that chair. And if it doesn't have a purpose, then it's not getting built inside of my residential. I'm not building things to look cool. I'm not looking to put, cool pictures on my walls and people come look at them. I want them to have an in-game purpose. That's the message I'm going to be pushing in every single one of my videos, my follow-on videos. I think the Mega World and Megacryptopolis as we know it are fundamentally going to change. I think that we are going to the microeconomy is going to need and rely on the Mega World citizens, and we're going to rely on them to harvest materials, deliver materials, right? I'll kind of touch on another subject. I won't dive too deep into it. This is another one of my wonderful worded mini-series chapters. We'll kind of give you a little preview to that. It is, let's see, right here and right here. So we're going to talk about a little bit of a hospital on life support. I'll give you a little preview of that. I have talked about it in previous iterations. Oh, hey, I'm pretty big there. Look at me. I look pretty good. Hey, hi. All right. What's Baba saying over here? It feels practical. Question I would ask MCP is whether or not it erodes the value proposition of a custom skyscraper where someone could rent an apartment unless they change the material requirement for the residential, that is. So my answer to that, Baba, you know my feelings on custom buildings. I don't think custom buildings should have the same functions or uses as a microeconomy building. I firmly believe one of the drawbacks of MCP style of development is that they want to develop everything in-house and internally. I'm challenging them to partner with other companies. DAS 3D, they're doing a great job with NFTs. Why are we making citizens inside of MCP? Why did we spend all of this time making the citizen when there are people that are absolutely amazing at making 3D avatars? That's one example, right? There are people that are amazing at building little mini games. I think the custom buildings are going to be a place, or could be a place, for these mini games, these mini arenas, these mini concert venues, a radio station, maybe a church, where you could have a mega wedding. You could get married in the metaverse. I actually saw an article on this. I think Bitcoin Baller talked about music and radio stations. There are audio glyphs. These guys are making blockchain music. Wouldn't it be kind of cool to have a custom arena where you are you have DJs and people mixing music, and that's where these avatars go to spend time, right? They spend their hard-earned world. I'm digressing a little bit from the subject. It was more to answer Baba's question, so I blame him. But hospital on life support. Let's look at let's look at a hospital and going back to breeding. I think that's where I want to go with this. So back over here. Let's switch this around a little bit. There we go. So the concept is this, in case you haven't seen the previous videos. So right now, again, everybody's being teleported. Materials are being teleported. Restoration is being teleported. It's just wave a wand and boom, my citizens teleported. There's no actual walking around, and that's how I get restored. Um, Same thing with the citizen, the breeding. They are being bred inside of this residential. Wouldn't it be cool if there was an ambulance that pulled up to the condominium here, and the expecting parents walk down into the ambulance? This ambulance would be created in a car factory. This would be a small micro business for one of the free to play players that has upgraded up to the point where he can afford a ambulance, and now he's it's going to cost you some money to deliver your child. He drives it over to the hospital, and this is where those microtransactions come in, right? So the district gets some money, right? A tax. The hospital gets a delivery fee. The ambulance gets a fee. MCP always takes the house's cut. And this again spreads that wealth out again and creates that opportunity for actual real gameplay and actual purposeful missions inside of MCP 3D. And I don't want to get into too much detail, but generally this is the reuse of buildings, right? A hospital on life support. So how do we use the hospital? And breeding, to me, actually delivering the babies makes the most sense. Again, the further you travel to the hospital, the more stamina you're going to expend, or the more gas you're going to expend. Gas in this terms of gasoline, not ETH gas, but the more energy you're going to expend, right? So it would be smart to put a hospital near a residential neighborhood, right? And that kind of goes back to having those, everything well zoned. That's kind of the gist of what I've got, guys. We can go back to that 6-part mini series. I hope everybody enjoyed what we've got in the ideas here. Really, the main focus is trying to find purposes for those levels 2 through 6. I think renting those blocks is kind of the summary. We still got 4 topics. You can see them right here. We'll be talking about those every Thursday. Go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button. It really helps. I love it. We'll be bringing you more information on these following topics. I'm really excited to chat about this, and we'll try to keep it to an hour. I got a little windy today, but a lot of fun. I'd love to have some new folks as guest speakers out there. It makes it more fun having that dialogue back and forth, and you don't always have to look at my face. Where am I? There I am. And like I said, smash and click that like and subscribe button, and that's all I've got for you guys. I'll stay a little while in chat. Hopefully production value is going to go up. I do have this new cool, I talked to Max and Baba about it. I got this new cool opener closer tune, and it's blockchain music. I'm so excited to incorporate that into my closing and ending screens. But hey, right now this is what you got. So that's it for me. I'm going to hopefully close this video down and chat with you guys a little more and wrap it up.